Wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia.
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light on all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander Watt, don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for B4.
What can I do? People know the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
What's true? That's why we gotta shine a light. Oh, shine a light, shine a light. We gotta shine a light. Oh, yeah. Together forever. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. The Unity Channel. Zero News to now. Tom Generation Next. We're gonna shine a light. Generation X.
Oh, we're live. Hi guys, I'm just laughing at X. I'm sorry, it's not the best way to start a podcast, but it's nuts on there. It's absolutely nuts. Anyway, I'm Tom Fury, this is Zero News. This is again more of a test. I know I've said that a couple of times, but the chat has been non-responsive and we've had some problems with Getter. Getter's fixed now, and I have changed the chat to, and this might help other Prism users, which is why I'm saying this out loud. I've lowered the bandwidth outward, but I did that anyway, and that's part of it. But the other side of it was that we had the latency problem. So I've set YouTube to ultra low latency. I don't use 4K. I don't use 2K. So it shouldn't affect us. But if you have any problems as the end users, let me know. I don't know if it'll have any effect on the video. I've disabled video stabilization, believe it or not. So it may shake a bit more, but that takes extra processing because the phone is the hardware that is putting the signal out, and phones aren't designed for high computing tasks, whatever you believe. Therefore, the phone is the bottleneck. So we're trying to make tasks simple for it. So we've disabled also on the server side itself, YouTube, disabled DVR, disabled anything that could incur time penalties via having to do anything on this phone, having to encode something. I just realised those comments are going to go right on that white bar and I'm not going to ever see who that is. I think that's you, Steve, isn't it? Not sure yet. I'll know as it goes up. Well, I put that bar in the wrong place, didn't I? What a twat. Hang on a second, let me see if I can just see you on the other chat whilst we're waiting for it. Oh, maybe I can't. Yeah, I can. Put that there for now and I can just see you. Yeah, it's you, Steve. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Yeah, so I thought I would come in. I appreciate you coming on, actually, because I need to test the chat. So the latency, hopefully, will be better now. So shouldn't take so long from you typing and seeing it, hopefully. I've done everything I can, both within inside of Prism and outside of Prism, to make that latency as small as possible. Everything on the phone that alters the image both set into the phone or into the app has been taken away. Latency settings been taken away. Even DVR settings have been taken away. Same for YouTube. And I've had to set the bitrate multiple times for some reason, but I've set it reasonably low. Like I say, it may cause some lower in the quality at first, the other end, but I can work on that as we go. As long as we establish that Getter's working, which it is, and this chat is working, then we're most of the way there. So yeah, Steve, how quick did that comment come up when you typed it in? So if we've cracked it and we've got there, then there's a reason I come on other than to test, but I don't. This is the problem I had before. So you guys suggested something to me, which was, why not? Sometimes I find lots of stories in a day and I'll report on them one at a time, run out of notifications or whatever else. Why not do these short stories and put them together? I've tried this a few times, by the way. And by the time it gets to the end of the day, I'm bored of the stories, think they're not important enough or whatever else, and I end up not doing it. And I realised, like, in between our last live and now, I've been just hitting loads of stories. So I started recording every story, even if I got to re-record it. Start recording every story, whether I record it tonight or tomorrow. Some of these stories are quite esoteric, so it's not like they're going to age out and the mainstream media is going to cover them. That's the whole point of the channel, is to cover what the mainstream media won't, or in a way that they won't. So I realised, like, I've followed what you suggested, you guys, and I've probably made about 6 recordings today. I'm guessing about that. So tonight, I'm going to try and put them together either for release tonight or tomorrow morning. And I'm going to try and put them together as a proper Zero News, with maybe a different, a proper name for that type of reporting. But it is really, from X to actual real world events, it is a way of doing lots of short news stories rather than one dragging long monologue that I tend to do with certain subjects. So it'll be a different way of doing it, which is why I want to name it differently if I do. Like I said to you, I'm going to be trying out lots of different shows at first. They won't all survive. It'll probably be dropped down to about 2 or 3 maximum at the end. But I want to try everything now while I can. But yeah, so and it was your guys' idea. So I thought I've mixed some of the best ideas you've given me with my own. And now it's just a case of execution, going and trying it. But because of this, I promised you that I would either come on for a live earlier on, or that I would come back this evening to do a live stream. And the danger of doing that is that all the stuff I need for the videos is in front of me. All of the thoughts I need are in my head. And the danger of doing a live stream is that I will blow it, open my big fat mouth, blow the videos before I release them, or before I put them together. So rather than do that, I just thought I would come on, test this. What does it say? Came up quickly. Good. What's that say? Most 3 seconds delay. Well, that's not too bad. I was hoping it might be down to 1.5, but 3 seconds is okay. The one thing about that is it does give me time to censor words as they're going out, because that only takes 1.5 seconds. So that may work. Actually, I think I can get rid of this now. No, I can't. Hang on, I'll leave it there for a minute. So 3 seconds isn't too bad when you consider all things. And that may change a little bit. We'll see. We'll see when we're out and about. We'll see what the signal does. Because my signal, I'll be honest with you, my signal the last few days hasn't been great. I don't know if it's a Christmas thing or what. But, yeah, so like I said, I've got all of these things recorded or half recorded, ready to go. And then it's like, even though I've got new stuff here on in front of me to talk about, so many of them are linked to what I'm going to talk about in these other videos. I'm scared of opening my stupid mouth and ruining the content I'm going to make for later. So I thought, well, I promised people I would come on either earlier on for a live or now. Well, I thought, well, I'll test the chat. I'll come on and explain this to you guys and let you know. Here I am. I was ready to do a live, but I really do want to go and see and try this video, because again, it's either going to be in a format where you appreciate it more, because you're going to be going from subject to subject and go, yeah, I'd rather this than you monologuing, Tom. Or you might say, no, no, this isn't for me. Only you guys can decide this. But it will change depending on how you decide. It will change the way that, but could potentially change the way I do things forever. Because either I'm gonna keep making the lots of short videos, or I'm gonna, sorry, I'm struggling with my thoughts tonight. Or I'm going to amass stories over the course of a day, and then make a larger recording covering. And I'll give you an index to all the stories anyway. So depending on the, I mean, I might need to do a couple, but depending on the reception compared to the monologuing, I'm going to see, and then we'll go from there. But it may change the way that I do the whole podcast. I don't know. But I could see good and bad. One, you don't get the instant reaction, but then again, you sort of do, because I'm pressing record still. So I don't know. But the downside of it is, when I want to come on live like I do now, I'm looking at stuff right in front of me now. I want to say thank you so bad. Now I can't see either of the chats. Typical. It's me counting 100, 200, 300. So that might not be an accurate 3 seconds. That's all right. It's a good rough guide. So that's what I need to do. Just a good rough guide at the moment. And like I say, there are other factors that could. There's something called rubber banding, which I tend to get a lot here. I don't know if it's because I'm in a block of flats, but it's hard. So I know you're not a techie guy. So think of it like this: imagine you've got a mile of road to drive on, and that's your internet, right? And then you start to run out of pieces or bits for that road. The bandwidth gets smaller on the internet, yeah. And what happens is that road gets stretched. It shouldn't be stretchable because it's a road, but it's a mile road, and it gets stretched almost like an elastic band. And then when the load's lighter, it'll go back to its 1 mile road self again. But every time it gets stretched by that extra distance, it's not functioning under a normal road. It's not functioning under the normal rules of gravity and everything else. And it's also stretched the same amount of material across a much longer space, which means you're getting a much lower quality road than you would have got. Does that make sense? So, and that's what rubber banding is. And it is a nightmare, because it can cause things to happen minutes from when you said them. It can cause things to jump backwards in time, all kinds of things. Was that a good analogy? I think that was a pretty good analogy. Oh, this chat is doing my head in. 1 second, I need to change something here. Move that over there a little bit. Move it that side. There we go. Now I can see it. Right. Okay. Yeah, so and rubber banding is an issue I do have here. In games you can see it easier, because you got a car moving along like that, and then it will jump backwards and jump backwards again, or jump forwards, and it's a sign of rubber banding. Sounds like how resistance is affected by loads. So Ohm's law. Do you know what? It's not actually too different, because the thing is, to keep a connection, it's got to either stretch or break. If it breaks, there's no connection. So stretch is the only answer, isn't it? Like I say, particularly noticeable in gaming. That's why you'll see gamers will specifically not just be interested in internet speeds, but they'll be interested in latency, what they call lag, because the response time between them using their games and if they're playing online with people is actually massive. You know, if you think like certain things are decided by a tenth of a second, well, that tenth of a second is easily lost going over the internet. So, but people have found ways around it. I think I used to play on. I think the fastest I've seen people playing on game servers was at something like 0.9 milliseconds, which is crazy speed. I think it's right. I think it was 9. I think it was 9. Was it 9 milliseconds? 9 milliseconds. So not 0.9. 9 milliseconds. Average I used to play on was about 23 milliseconds. That's 23 milliseconds to do stuff on your computer, and then it goes up to another computer and executes that. That's crazy speed. But yeah, so, but yeah, exactly. Um, Interesting. Do you know the speed of light can be changed? I mean, technically, the speed of light's the speed of light, but it can be altered. It can be altered. Um, that. Let me rephrase that. The speed of light is the speed of light. It can temporarily, the light itself can be altered and made to move more slowly. It doesn't mean that the speed of light is more slow, but it means that they can alter that, or it can be altered, which is crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, that's off the. Yeah, sorry. It is like the difference between speed of light and copper. But it's also like as well. It's like that copper pipe. If that copper pipe, wasn't long enough because of usage, if usage caused that copper pipe to come apart and cause a mile hole in that copper pipe, although that's a bit silly, right? But like imagine like pressure on a hose pipe caused it to split apart and the two parts come apart. Well, I suppose the difference would be rubber banding would be, instead of it coming apart, it would just stretch. It would stretch that pipe out, you know? Yeah. Me and my fucking analogies. I'm aware of Einstein quantum theories. It's interesting because his quantum theories were way ahead of their time. A lot of them were wrong, but they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong in terms of him being totally on the wrong beat. It was like he didn't know how far it went. Well, nor should he have done with the equipment available. But what people don't give him credit for is what he was right about. He knew about the entire quantum universe that we couldn't measure, judge, and people thought he was a bit crazy for all that. But he wasn't, not at all. I'm still a little bit sketchy about these quantum computers, though. I'm not buying into it because just saying the word quantum computer sounds cool, but when you look into it, it does actually require people will laugh at me for saying this, but in literal terms, for it to be a real quantum computer, and this is why I say AI is not AI. For it to be a literal quantum computer, it would need access to it would need a gateway to another dimension that's not here. So, I mean, for it to be an actual quantum computer, so yeah, either there's something they're not telling us, or there's something they're not telling us. Yeah, either it's all bullshit, or it's not, and they know something we should all know. Right, anyway, I'm being a bit boring. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure this works. Steve, thank you for helping me test this again. Like I said, I'm sorry for not doing a live tonight. I just came on really to address that, apologise for that, make sure this works, because I've now got most of Prism understood now. Obviously when I started I couldn't be bothered to look. I understand the chat, I understand this white bar thing, I understand how you add things to it, I understand how you take away, I understand how you adjust the quality. I've pretty much got Prism under control now. So X is a wild beast to be tamed. But I've pretty much got the phone side of things under control. So now it's a case of getting my other studio together. The upgrades I've still got to do on my computer, they're all here. The 4 terabyte drives and the memory upgrades and everything else all ready to go. Oh, there was one other thing. I kept thinking to myself, why is it that my S24 is warm and hot when I'm doing Prism, and my S25 FE is not? I underclocked both of them. I put both of them on a restricted bandwidth, and yet one still got hot and one didn't. A lot less hot, so I put them back to their original settings so that one could really overheat. And what I found was one was warm and one was very, very hot again. Why? So the settings were still slightly restricted. The data was still at a sensible amount of data. The resolution was still at a sensible resolution. It really shouldn't have been killing it that much. I don't know the full answer, but what I can tell you is this. We tend to look at the processors and we go, oh yeah, well it'll be because the Samsung S25 is more powerful than the S24 because it's you know, it's the one that came after. Well, yeah, but they release them every 18 months. They're not that much more powerful. They're not that much more powerful. If you really want a jump up in power between mobile phones, wait 5 years. Then you'll see a jump. So it's unlikely to be that. I mean, just that. That might have a small part of it. The way it handles things may be a bit more efficient. So you could take that into account. But it's not going to be that much more efficient and it's going to make the phone cold where the other one's boiling hot. So you look, I've been looking at things, the charging and everything else, but I took the chargers out. One phone overheats, the other doesn't. And then I realised something. Where is the other phone? I realised something. This is the phone here. And it is, let me just check, ever so slightly thinner than the Samsung S24, or about the same size, maybe a fraction thinner. But it's nearly a 7-inch beast of a phone. I mean, my other phone sits in, this phone here sits inside of it. Also, the camera's wedged right up to the top there. What does that give you? That gives you a massive surface area. Also means that I can't point to that, but see where that white dot is, for instance. You can put inside there, you've got more air, for instance. You also can put your mobile phone card there, and then further down you could put your Wi-Fi card. Further down you could put something else. Not only can you spread them out, you can spread the heat dissipation out across the phone, and you've got more air in there just for the very simple fact that it's bigger. The larger the space, the larger the area of heat distribution going outwards. So in spite of the fact that it's still thin and still got problems, because anything thin and small will have, it's still got more air in there than a Samsung S24, and it's still got a much larger area of heat dissipation, and that's probably the number one thing that keeps it cooler. Sorry to disappoint people, but it won't be because you've got a super powerful new phone. It'll be the surface area. People hate these simple solutions, but they're true. They hate it because it's too simple. Well, the phone itself is new, and I would be very unlucky because the one before it was broke as well. So it would mean I would have had to have had 2 broken phones in a row. So it's possible, but I don't think so. I think it's surface area. I'm pretty sure of it. Because when I make the appropriate adjustments to the smaller one, I can get it to stop overheating again. So what I have to do is set the smaller one to run nowhere near the way the big one runs. And then, yeah. And yet when you look at the processing power side by side, it's not that much difference. So it says to me efficiency, size. Not only that, don't forget on these, so not only is there less air and space for the heat to get out, but you've got the mobile phone card, the data card. It is actually a little card inside there, and they get so hot. Your Wi-Fi card, which gets hot. On a phone like this, they're all crammed together, and so they're warming each other up. On a bigger phone they're more spread out, same as a tablet. So you've got that side of it as well. It's a nightmare. But this is what happens when you try and fit small stuff in, big technology into small things. Like all these people buying these handheld gaming systems and then saying, oh, it's not got as good graphics as my £2,000 PC. Yeah, no shit. It's like 1/100th the size. Like, that's important. You are never going to get something price equivalent, smaller than your big devices, that is going to beat them. Not if it's the same age, Not if it's the same generations and everything else. Not going to happen. The average graphics card for a PC, if you went and got a 5070 for my desktop PC and a 5070 for a laptop, the 5070 for the laptop is liable to run anything up to 50% slower than its desktop counterpart. Why? Because of size, and because they have to also be restricted on the amount of watts they can pull in due to multiple factors and bandwidth. Oh, hang on a second. That's not doing what it should do. One sec, guys. It's not responding. It should be. So I can't play it. Oh, no, it's because it's there. It's because it's there. Okay, 1 second. Bear with me a minute. Oh, I've got a comment on mine, Steve, and I can't see it. Have you removed said person? I'm not sure if these are in sync or not. Yeah, okay, so you removed them, yeah? Okay, cool. Just wanted to, I was about to do the same thing myself. No problem. Okay, brilliant. Yeah. I'm not going to say too much on here, but anybody that you suspect to be that, ban them for life, mate. And if there's any innocent people get caught on a crossfire, they can always write to me, and I will happily unban them if it isn't. Yeah. But if you've got any doubt, mate, fire away. Get rid of them for good. You know, I know that you know the score. So again, I don't want to say too much on here. I'll have to talk to you offline. But feel free to have a fire at will policy. Right, so at least our chat is working. And what we'll do, Steve, is we'll make it so that what I used to have on my channel was like a firewall. So people would never be able to get us off of the subjects that we were on, and we would never be pulled away. And there was a way that we used to do it, and people like that would just bounce off of our system. They would just bounce off. And they just wouldn't get through because of people like you and the way that we do things. Yeah, and they don't stand a chance when we're organised. So we'll have to have a chat offline or something at some point. And I like I say, there is such an easy system, and then bang, they're done. And it works every single time. So we'll have to have a look into that when we get a chance to speak properly. But yeah, it's easy enough. It's easy enough to do. And not only that, as we go forward, we're going to get some legitimate lefties coming through as well, especially when we do the Owen Jones videos and stuff like that. Although those ones, I'd like to let them talk, because they talk themselves into a communist grave. They really do, every time. So, which is funny. I do like to watch them destroy themselves. But right, I've been on longer than I planned to, but just want to see if anything was going to go wrong. Even the phone's not overheating too badly, so we're not doing too bad. But yeah, I will be so not going online. I'm going to be working on that other story. If it goes wrong, then I'll come on live. I won't be told what to do on my own channel. I will produce the content that I want to do, or say what I want, I'll do what I want, and there's nobody that's going to be able to change anything about that. And that's hopefully why people respect me. not because I'm trying to be anti-authoritarian, not because I'm trying to be authoritarian, but because I'm trying to be anti-authoritarian, and that is that I believe in freedom. So I will not be told what to do by trolls or by governments or by people. So the more you tell me not to do something, the more I will do it. So Owen Jones on the live chat. That's the thing, mate. One day, if we can grow the channel again, because that's what I was trying to do with it before. When we got to 20k, I was like, right, if I can get it to 100, I'm gonna get Owen Jones. And I know if we got up to like 100,000, I know he wouldn't be able to refuse, because he's gonna feel 100,000 eyes on him. We're gonna get him, Steve. If we can get up to that number one day, which why not? We got to 20. If we got up, even 50, I reckon would make him think. If we can get up to sort of numbers where he could justify speaking to us, we're getting him on here. We're getting him on here, and then we'll just let him talk himself to death. So yeah, it'd be great. Oh, can you imagine him in the live chat? Yeah, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Yeah. I wonder what he would do if I put the link out, Owen Jones. If I put the link out and said, "Come on, Owen, come on now, come and destroy him." Do you reckon he would? He wouldn't give my channel the. Imagine if I had a channel with over 20,000 people on again. Do you reckon he'd give me the time of day? He wouldn't take that risk. He'd have I imagine he's got a bunch of people that advise him on when the risk's too high. Have you ever seen, Steve, just before I go, have you ever watched that interview with him and Peter Hitchens? He couldn't have been more of a bumlicky, easygoing, nice guy. If anybody wants to get the wrong impression of Owen Jones and who he is, watch his interview with Peter Hitchens. He sounds like such a gentleman. It's hard to believe that a week later that he was literally tearing him a new arsehole onto national television. Yeah, he is absolutely. He's insane. I mean, the thing of it is, we've caught him lying about things, because he seemed to be completely. I remember we went to a demo for Tommy, and it wasn't a biggest turnout, to be honest, but it was about 1,000 people turned out. And Owen Jones was in a bus on the other side saying, and he was on YouTube saying, we've outnumbered them 10 to 1 and all the rest of it, saying that he had thousands on his side. And what he didn't seem to realise was it was 2023 or something like that, modern day, my point, and that someone had a drone up. And the drone clearly showed that we only had about 1.2 thousand on our side, and he had about 100 to 200 people on his side. But he was on this bus telling everybody how Tommy had put out a pathetic amount of people, and they had dwarfed them with their thousands. And it was completely disproved. He never addresses it. He never shows any shame for it. I've also seen him on speed on Piers Morgan. On Piers Morgan. Don't know if I saw that. Just trying to think. No, I don't think I have. I don't think I've seen that one. I might have to go and have a look at that after this, actually. Right, okay. I'm going to stop wasting your time, Steve, and I'm going to get on to making this video. Like I say, if it goes wrong or whatever, I might do a live or something, but I really kind of want to try this format whilst we got this time, because again, I'm not saying it's going to be the breakthrough video, because it's just a first try, but it might be a way forward, depending on what you guys like, what you guys prefer. Or if you like both, then I'll do one day of the week and a different day of the week. So we'll see how it goes. He claimed afterwards he was on a prescribed medication for autism. Now I remember. Yeah. Yes. Autism. That went away quick as well, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh yeah, some of the Piers Morgan things are cringy, aren't they? All right, mate. Well, Steve, thank you again, mate. We've tested this. It seems to be okay. You haven't. I'm assuming you haven't. You would have said if you had any problems with lag. So things are obviously working pretty well. The end picture's a little bit lower than I was expecting, but it's all right. We're pretty much there. And the X problem is X itself. It's not Prism. I'm going to clear Prism of that. It's not Prism's fault. It's X. They want you to have exclusive content on their site. But what they're causing is for you not to release any content on their site, because it's just easy to multi-stream to the other places and not bother with X. So they're costing themselves content, because I can't be bothered to do a separate stream just for X. So I don't. So I don't see how that's exactly helping them grow a platform for video. But I understand them wanting exclusives, but you get exclusives when you give people incentives and reasons to upload to you alone. So, you know, and at the moment, it's not capable. And also as well, just like Rumble, the X Studio, which unlike the others you pay for, is absolute shite. So I'll save a lot of you some frustration and time. If you're thinking, oh, I can do it free using Rumble Studio or X Studio, just get OBS or don't bother, or pay for something, because they will drive you insane. You'll think it's your fault. You'll think you've made a mistake, and then you'll realise no, they're just crap. And with X, like I say, they got some nerve, because you're actually paying for it. And I was blaming Prism for certain things, and Prism's actually very good, considering it's being run on a mobile phone. It's the best performance you're going to get on a mobile phone, considering that mobile phones were not designed to do this. It's amazing that it works as well as it does, because it's the mobile phone is the bottleneck. And what does that mean? If the mobile phone is the bottleneck, it means that the mobile phone was never really intended for this. Because if the mobile phone is a bottleneck, that means you're using the wrong device, right? So we're using the wrong device for the right things, and we're getting away with it. So I'm happy with the test. Right, guys. Thanks so much for helping me do this test. Really appreciate it. Thank you on Getter for, and I'm sorry on Getter for the missed streams and the things going wrong. But we are gradually getting there. Prism has finally conquered, and we will get the latency conquered, hopefully, and then we'll move on to the presentation of the shows. We're getting there. I am Tom Fury. Oh, but I'm not an X, but I'll speak to you soon. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll talk to Ben, or perhaps there's a way we'll speak. But yeah, I'll speak to you soon, Steve. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Tom Fury, calling it a day for now.